welcome back to the Total Tribe channel. I'm Loriette. Thanks for stopping by. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about baby products that I regret buying. Some of these I didn't actually buy, they were gifts, but they're just kind of, I guess, products that I feel like I didn't really need and maybe you won't need, maybe you will. Every situation, every mom, every kid is different, and so some things I might dislike, you might have found to be holy grail products, you know, with your child. But in the grand scheme of things, I really feel like I don't have that many things that I disliked or didn't really need. I feel like when I watch these videos from other people, there's like a whole slew of things. They're like, I didn't need those. I really didn't have that many, and I actually struggled to come up with some. That may be because, you know, we didn't have a shower or anything. COVID kind of took that all off the table for us, and so there were a lot of things on our registry that we didn't end up getting, and so like the things that we did get were things that we either went out and purchased because we felt like it was really necessary or we really needed them, or like family bought them for us for that specific purpose. So I feel like we didn't really get a lot of like those kind of things that you register for that you think are kind of frivolous, but it would just be nice to have, and then you realize later on that you didn't really need them. We didn't get a whole lot of things like that, and so that might be why I don't have a ton of things I regret buying, but let's just run through my brief list anyway. The first product I regret buying is actually the original Boppy pillow. You know, that C-shaped pillow? Actually, here, I have it over here, because I'm getting ready to put it away in storage because I didn't need it. So it's just this regular like C-shaped pillow. It's really, I think, intended for breastfeeding. And obviously I did not breastfeed my son. But yeah, it's just supposed to, like, you know, fit around you, and then you can breastfeed, and it helps make that journey easier. I did use this a little bit in the beginning with Josiah for bottle feeding, because after the first couple weeks when they're itty bitty, they start to get heavy, and Josiah's head got heavy first and then his body followed, and so like holding him would sometimes become uncomfortable, and he would feed for like 30 minutes and it would just kill my arm, and so I started resting him on this and feeding him this way, and it works for that purpose. But because I only had one, like remembering to bring it upstairs and downstairs depending on where we were going to be, it just kind of like was annoying, and so most of the time I was just like, forget it, I don't really need it. And so this didn't come in super handy for us, and I know that you can use it for different things. You can like put them down and kind of situate them in here when they're a little bit bigger, but he has so many things at this point now that he can kind of like sit up a little bit more, that we'd never use it for that purpose, like ever. We love the Boppy Lounger, that's what we ended up using a ton, but this was a no-go for us. Maybe next time around, who knows, maybe if I actually conceive and carry and give birth to a child, I will want to breastfeed, and then I will pull that out of storage and I will love it for that round of parenting, but not this time. Next thing on the list is a wipes warmer, and I know that a lot of people put this on their like regret buying list. Here's the thing, I had registered for a wipe warmer. My nephew had a wipe warmer, and when I would watch him, I was like, this is nice, you know, because like who wants to have their clothes taken off and then a cold wipe applied to them, right? Like it's a nice touch, makes things a little bit easier. But when we first brought Josiah home, I didn't have a wipes warmer, and we just kind of were doing what we had to do with just regular room temperature wipes. And when Josiah was really little, he hated diaper changes, and he would scream. It was really like the only time that he cried was when you had to change his diaper, and he would scream like you were murdering him. And that was rough in the middle of the night, during the day, anytime that you needed to change him, he would just like lose it. And so my mom was like, well, maybe he doesn't like the wet wipes being so cold, let's get a wipe warmer. And so she bought the wipes warmer for us and sent it over, and I used it. It was totally fine, and he did adjust to diaper changes, but I really don't think it was because the wipes were warm so much as he just realized after a while that this is going to be a routine. We're going to do this multiple times a day, and when it happens, I'm nice and dry afterwards, so it's really not that big of a deal. I can calm down, kind of thing. And so I really don't think I can credit the wipe warmer, because I haven't used it now in like a long time, and he's still totally fine with diaper changes and room temperature wipes. So I would say it's not a necessity. Sure, it's a nice touch, but it does become another one of those things that you have to maintain. There's just no way around it. You have to like wet the little pads that you put in it, and then obviously because you're wetting pads and there's water, And then there's warmth. You have to be careful, make sure to keep it clean so that no like bacteria or like mold is growing in there. And it's just like, who needs an extra thing to worry about keeping clean and hygienic? Especially like when we brought our son home, it was the start of the pandemic here in the US. It was like I was Lysoling the house every 5 seconds. It was like I did not need one more thing to have to like worry about cleaning. Next regret is probably going to actually be maybe shocking to some people, maybe not, I don't know. The car seat carrier. I hate the car seat carrier, and so does Mike actually. We both cannot stand the car seat carrier. It has nothing to do with the brand. It has nothing to do with the carrier itself. I love the Nuna car seat. I think it's great. I love the functionality of it. I love how easy it is to uninstall and install. I love everything about it. I love that it's so compatible with so many different strollers, and so it works with our Mockingbird stroller with the proper attachment. That's not the problem at all. It would be any brand. Like we said, if we didn't have, you know, if we got rid of this after Josiah and we had another child, we would not buy another car seat carrier. We would just do a convertible car seat that goes from infancy all the way up to like, you know, a booster seat or whatever for a toddler. Just because we just feel like it's kind of superfluous. Once the baby is a certain weight, that thing becomes so heavy and so cumbersome, and it's so awkward to carry, and like we both struggle carrying it. It's so awkward, and where we live, we have a bunch of steps out in front of our house, and it's kind of a narrow stairway. Like there isn't a ton of room. Two people can't walk up it like next to each other, so you kind of have to carry the baby either in front of you or behind you. You can't carry him alongside of you, and so it's just such a pain. And Mike all the time is like, can we just leave this in the car and take the baby in and out of the house? But I feel like that's not really what you're supposed to do. When you have it, you're supposed to bring it in and out. I know that there are people that love their car seat carriers and they're kind of bummed out when their kids grow out of them because of like the ease of being able to snap them onto your stroller system and go. But we really don't even do that often. If we know that Josiah is going to be in his stroller for a longer period of time, we typically snap his regular stroller seat in and we'll take him out of the car seat, just because I don't like that position that he's in the car seat. And the actual stroller seat allows us to sit him up or tilt him back or put him fully back. So we have more versatility with that anyway. So we really don't use the car seat and the stroller together very often to make it even worth the, like $300 that we spent on the Nuna Pippa car seat. So we will likely use it again because we have it and we already paid for it. But like I said, if we sold it, we wouldn't go out of our way to buy a new car seat carrier for the next kid. Next up is Blackout Curtains. Now I'm very grateful that I did not spend a lot of money buying Blackout Curtains. I bought like an inexpensive set on Amazon and they're still sitting in the packaging that they came in. I never even attempted to put them on the curtain rod in Josiah's room. I just heard from so many people that like, if you want your child to sleep throughout the night and take good naps, like you needed to put up Blackout Curtains. That was the only way that it was ever gonna happen. And so before I was even super familiar with Josiah and the way that he likes to sleep, because obviously you learn these things about your baby over time, I went out and ordered Blackout Curtains for his room because I just thought like I needed it. So many people had talked about how you need it, right? And so I thought I needed it. I bought them and I don't use them ever. If you've been following me for any amount of time now, then you know that Josiah, he's a great sleeper. He loves to sleep during the night. He sleeps through the night pretty much every night. We rarely have a hiccup where we have to go in there in the middle of the night. And the few that we've had, he literally goes right back down after you go and like soothe him. So, you know, it's not necessary then, and it's light when we put him to bed right now in the summer. And he still will go right to bed. And naps, the only time we have trouble getting him to take long naps is really when he's like going through a leap. I think that he's gonna start teething soon, so that will probably affect him. But for the most part, it's fine. And before I put them up, I was talking to my mom and she was like, are you sure? Like maybe just see how he does without them, you know, for a while first, because you don't want him to get used to having to be like fully submerged in darkness with a sound machine and everything else on for him to nap well, because there are going to be situations where you are out and about or you're at somebody's house and you want him to nap and you're not gonna have blackout curtains and sound machines and everything else. And I was like, you're right. Next on my list is colic bottle. Next on my list is colic bottles. Now, I've said before in videos that I do think it's important for you to have a variety of bottles at first so that you can figure out what bottle your baby's gonna like. That's if you're bottle feeding, obviously. If you're breastfeeding, then you know, you don't really need to worry about bottles right away anyway. But if you are going to be bottle feeding, I think it's crucial to have like 3 or 4, maybe 5 if you're like me and excess is better for you, of different brand bottles with different nipple styles so that you can kind of see what your baby is going to like the best. And then once you figure that out, then you can invest in like a whole bottle system or more bottles of that particular bottle. Still highly recommend that. One of the things that I did was I bought a 3-pack of Tummy Tippy colic bottles just in case our baby had colic. In the beginning, we didn't have a ton of bottles. Like I said, we didn't have a shower or anything like that. So we used what we had. And so I would use the anti-colic bottles for Josiah. And he didn't mind them because the nipple shape, he likes the Tummy Tippy nipple shape and it has the same nipple. So he was totally okay with it. So here's the problem. Anti-colic bottles have like a lot of little pieces and parts to them. And you have to be really, really thorough cleaning them so that they don't, you know, get any like kind of mold or like any formula or breast milk doesn't kind of get like crusted in there or stuck in there. And again, it's just like one of those extra things that you have to be on top of. And if you don't need to be on top of it, don't do it to yourself. Don't make yourself have to worry about one more thing that's going to take up more of your time, because in the beginning especially, like you don't have that time. You don't have that time to worry about cleaning out your wipes warmers or making sure the 7 pieces that go inside your colic bottle are like extra clean. I exaggerated. I don't think there's any colic bottle that has 7 pieces, but you know, it's the drama queen in me. Last but not least, and I think that pretty much every parent can probably agree on this one, sleepers with snaps. Oh my goodness, why do they even make those? Why do they make those? The snaps are terrible, especially like in the middle of the night when you're tired and it's like 3 a.m. and you're trying to change a diaper. Like, oh, could there be anything worse than snap pajamas? It's like the ones that go all the way up. No, they're terrible. I literally don't ever put Josiah in those. We have some. I will say if Mike and I are doing bedtime, Mike is more likely to put Josiah in snap down pajamas. Now we're at the point, because he doesn't get diaper changes in the middle of the night, that I'll do the ones that are the U shape. I'll do those snaps. And all of his little rompers that I love to put him in during the day, those are snaps at the, you know, kind of in between the legs, but it's like 4 snaps or 3 snaps. So it's a lot easier than having to do like a bunch of them. With like long kind of pants pajamas. So that I'm okay with, that I can deal with. But in the very beginning, when you're talking like newborns and you're changing diapers like every 2-3 hours, no snaps. Don't even bother. Don't get them. Don't register for them. If people get them for you, cute, cool, wash them, put them away as backups, you know, for if you didn't do laundry or you're really trying to push laundry out an extra day. But I would not encourage anybody to buy snap pajamas. Zippers, people, zippers. And if you can find 2-way zippers, even better. And if you can bypass zippers and do like the little sleep sacks that I love from Kate Quinn that knot and tie at the bottom, the little gowns, do that, because that's even easier. That wraps up my baby products that I regret buying. I'm sure as he gets older and I buy more things for different stages of his, you know, life, I will have new products that I'm like, why did I buy that? For now, I guess this is my list from like 0 months all the way up to, I guess, like 5 months, because he's 5 months now, which is kind of a random way to break it up. But anyway, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. You can leave me any questions or comments you have down below. I would love to hear from you. Do not forget to subscribe for more videos from us in the future, and I will see you guys in our next one. Bye.